to NEWSBEAT Nightly. A lot of interesting stuff here. We're talking a lot about cryptocurrencies and the stocks associated with them, stocks that we saw moving. And I just want to go over some of them here, especially names like CNIT. I think this is a really wonderful stock to highlight over here. So, wow, you're coming down from Alaska. Wow, that's stay warm. Probably have the same weather here. So, I was talking about a different strategy with some of these overnight ideas with the point to create alpha, and I'm going to try streamlining it really well, and I want to make it, a very simple, texting service. So again, you're going to get wonderful ideas like this for a long, and you might be looking at CNIT now, and you might be thinking to yourself, CNIT doesn't look good as a long. But if you bought it on Thursday at $1.97 and watched it open at 365 and head to 520 and even pull down to 258, it was an absolutely wonderful long. So I just want to sort of talk about what this system is going to offer you because it's sort of unique to what I've been doing. For the majority of these ideas, it goes against everything you might have learned here. However, there's a specific use for it, and I felt it was imperative that I really share with you why I'm doing it and why it's working. Even names like CNIT. Yeah, I'll have winners and losers, and I'm highlighting this one just to show you. I think this is a perfect highlight just to show you what happened. So, here, this is what happened on CNIT. Let's see if I could just pull up a little chart here. Little chart. I'll find it eventually. So basically, what happened on CNIT is you would basically receive a text on Thursday, on January 4th from last Thursday, in real time saying that I am buying CNIT at $1.95. When I paid $1.95 for it, that was the day high. Now, as a professional trader for the last 18 years, you might think buying at day highs is a bad idea, and you're right. However, the exception comes in this one rule, and which I really wanted to share with you. So, there are a lot of people who, Reinhold, I'm so sorry that you have to take care of your mother and everything. I'm going to use you as an example, Reinhold. So, here we have a subscriber from Germany who is taking care of his mother, and he can't dedicate full time to the market right now, very understandably so. He's going to benefit greatly from this service because he's basically going to get a Twitter text to his phone on Thursday within the last 30 minutes of trading, and basically it's going to show him that I bought CNIT at $1.95. Now, I generally stay away from small cap names. During the day when I trade, 99.9% of my trades are bigger, what people like to call sexier names. And by the way, and I have some other news. God, I have so much to share with you guys today. So basically, he'll get that heads up that I paid $1.95 for it. And when he punches in that stock, he's going to see that he got that message right away. It actually, after I paid $1.95, dropped to $1.89 and then went to $2. And you see what happened on Thursday. And what happened the next day is it exploded through the ceiling. And I sold it. I didn't sell one share over $4. The stock hit a high on Friday of $5.26. My best sell was $3.50. But what happened was this. Let's see if I can even show you like how it looks like. So I'm going to be basically here's the bad part. You have to be a Twitter member. I mean, if that's no problem to you because you love Twitter, God bless you. You're fine. Me, even though I have followers on Twitter, I don't really post on Twitter. So basically you're going to get like NewsBeat stuff, and it basically is going to come in looking no fluff. I don't know how legible this is, but basically you're going to get something like this. It's just going to say long CNIT at $1.95, and you're going to get a text. And this is obviously a locked account. Obviously, we're going to start it off with a huge promotional discount. I will say that people who sign up, if you sign up, you're pretty much, as long as you keep paying for the service, you're grandfathered in. So that's one. Members of the room, I'm going to try to get it to you between $0 and $10 a month. I hope I'm able to succeed. If you're not a member of this room, you'll have to pay more. No, we're not really fully decided on the price point yet. Unfortunately, I don't make that decision. I just try to keep bringing you guys more and more value through this service. So here's the deal. You're going to see long CNIT at $1.95. There's no fluff. There's no bullshit. There's no analysis. There's no, how do you feel about the Chinese sector? Why are you really targeting this name? That I will tell you. So what I do is, you know how Heinz has 57 varieties? I have 43 parameters to choose these names. I'm going over 43 parameters before I say that I'm buying CNIT. Those parameters have nothing to do with the fundamentals of the company. Again, I could care less if this company sold used toilet paper. It just doesn't matter. But like I was saying before, after helping program all these algorithms and whatnot, I feel we have a distinct edge here. And if you've been following these little overnights, you're up money. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to get a number of overnights, and pretty much what I try to do is sell them the next day in the morning. So A, you're pretty much worry free, especially if you're taking a small stock like this. So it's a $2 name. I literally tagged in 2,000 shares. It was like $4,000 worth of stock. So if CNIT, for example, I woke up the next morning and they filed bankruptcy and opened up as zero, I would be down like $4,000. Now, granted, that's a very harsh thought, but if you want to talk about potential downside, that's what I think. Granted, it's very likely that that event will never ever happen to you in the next 20 years by taking these plays, but that's a whole nother story. The point is that there's 43 parameters that I look for that make me choose these names. Now, I'm generally going to choose between 2 and 5 names. Generally, could be 6, could be 1, could be 0, which is very doubtful. So pretty much almost every day you're going to get overnights from me, overnight ideas for me in which I am buying. It's very simple. This is how I do it. I literally find the name. I go to my room and say, guys, I'm buying this name in 30 seconds. Then I go over to Twitter and I say, long, symbol, at, and I don't put in the price. Then what I do is I click my market buy button. I see the price I got filled at. I quickly go to Twitter, type in the price, and hit enter and send. So you guys get it instantly. You guys are going to be getting instant access to these overnights. So the whole point is to create alpha. So generally speaking, the majority of the time with these overnights, I'm pretty much buying them. I'm buying them at the end of the day and selling it the next day pretty early. Sometimes I even sell it in the post market. So like for CNIT, for example, I started selling at $3.20. You will get an alert that I sold at $3.20. Pretty much, you have a professional trader who one of my jobs is obviously managing money. Pretty much have a professional money manager watching over your trades in your account at all times, so you don't have to worry. The whole point of this service is to A, make money, and B, to cater to people who don't have time to spend on the market. The whole goal for this was to make it sound easy. Now, some things that are too easy are too good to be true. That's not the case this time. I will agree with you that most things that are too good to be true are. This is the exception. Now, I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong. I had 0 losing days last week. And that's because CNET went up after hours, and I sold after hours. Otherwise, I would have had 1 losing day. So I almost had 1 losing day. But CNIT actually saved me. The week before, 1 losing day. And you have to realize with the names I'm choosing for you, this is going to be more common than you think. There was another name we chose as an overnight that you would have gotten through Twitter, and it was this. The Mox Report one, where we bought right at the end of the day on GCAP, and the stock gapped up the next day. And that's why I sold in the morning. Again, a lot of times I'm going to give you a name. It's going to gap up huge. I'm going to sell it. And then you're going to watch the stock go up another 50% or 100%. I promise you that will happen. And you're going to look back and be like, oh man, Mark, wasn't there an ability for you to hold this one and let it go? And I'm going to say, nope. Not for me. Maybe for you, that would be great. So basically, the whole point of it is extremely high probability gaps the next day. That's all this service is. Now, there's one part of the service in which you'll get intraday, and I'm going to denote it as such. So, for example, let's say I want to swing something for maybe a week or two or a month. You're going to get those ideas as well, and I will denote in the tweet, this is a longer term hold. This is my target. You're going to see a lot more letters than just long this at this price. Granted, I'll have frequently asked questions and instructions on how to follow it. So you are going to get longer term swing trades, but every day you'll get them here and there depending on if a major level hits. But basically, here and there you'll get shorter term trades. I'll be right back in 1 minute. All right, guys. Sorry for the wait, and thank you for waiting. Okay, so just going back, just wanted to wrap up what I was saying about these overnight ideas. The whole point is creating alpha. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not to get attached to any of these positions. You're basically scalping with overnight trades. That's a brilliant way of putting it. I'm going to use that. You're actually scalping through overnight trades because you're buying by the end of the day and generally selling early the next morning. So you're basically taking like these 1 day scalps. If there's anything different on it, in terms of trades that you should potentially hold longer, I will definitely let you know. If you wish to screenshot any of the names that I have for my game plan, you can hit print screen, or if you're using a Mac, however you save what you see on your screen. Here's all my Forex trades for the day. We have a cool 7 of them. And if you have, of course, if you have any questions from YouTube, you could go ahead and email me, mark.melnick@t3live.com. All right, now I'm going to get to all your questions. GNSPF is subtract. They're going to lay off 300 people. You're still new to news-driven trades. All right, Gil. So basically, you're asking a couple questions here. Now, when it comes to news, it's one of the hardest things to interpret, but I'm actually going to try to interpret that for you. So basically, what they're saying is they're going to stop the hunt to discover new new Alzheimer drugs and whatnot. And if you actually wanted to see that, I'll share it with you. It's just coming out of the Wall Street Journal, and basically, they basically are giving up on drugs to find Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So first of all, I don't think that news. I think that news, for me, is basically neutral. I think that news is basically neutral because you know all right, so they're stopped searching for finding for drugs. Some people say that's bad because they can make money off that sector. Some people say it's bullish because they'll focus on other drugs they can make money on. So when you hear news like that, for me, my first thoughts on that one, Gills, is that it's neutral. You're going to lay off 300 people. Unfortunately, that's always bullish because when you lay off 300 people, what people don't, maybe you do understand, what people have to understand is when you lay off 300 people, it's that those 300 people were costing you more money than they were creating for the company. So almost always when you see layoffs, it's actually bullish for that reason. So I would say the stop trying to find a cure. I don't know how invested they are in it. That could be slightly bearish, or potentially that's already priced in and it could be slightly bullish. So I consider that neutral. And the layoffs I would consider bullish. Barron said, time to sell cat. I mean, they'll probably gap it down. I mean, the stock's trading at all-time highs. Wow. I mean, do I think you're going to gap down tomorrow morning in it? Yes. Just because of the Barron's article. That's a really hard question to ask. I mean, I don't like going against the news, so it depends how long term or short term you are. Generally, me, if I'm swinging it, I dump it because I don't like negativity around it. Crazy. The relative strength. On what, Ricardo? The relative strength index on Caterpillar? James, when can you join the Twitter service? We're working right now on setting it up as soon as T3 puts up the website. I'm actually running it live to nobody right now, but I'm like doing a test run. So as soon as T3 puts up the website, I'll let you guys know. When Twitter sends SMS, it also sends tweets on computer. You prefer computer? I'm assuming so. I think you'll get it on your computer, your SMS, and your email, and I think there's settings that you can change if you want to do that. There you go, Happy. Thank you. Hi, Ricardo. Welcome. You're asking how many people in this, how many participants in this room on average? I would say about 100. Then others are just silent. So we're going to actually be having an open house tomorrow, guys. As I said, that should be, you're going to have a lot of new people here. So any assistance that you guys offer in terms of answering questions, I'll thank you again, but I'm gonna also thank you in advance. Which choice is better, XLF or KBE? Goodness, great question. I do not have an answer for that. I don't have a smart answer for that, Happy. Thoughts on Twitter here? Bullish. Came out of this beautiful falling wedge. At this point, to me, it's a matter of when are you going to try to break out again? Still bullish overall on Twitter. All right, dumb question. What's creating alpha? So alpha is just basically used. I'm using alpha in terms of intraday cash. So like creating alpha is just basically creating a steady flow of cash that has nothing to do with your other trades or swing positions. Yeah, Priyanka pretty much got it. Thank you. Ravi, Nvidia and Autodesk. Nvidia long looks extremely bullish here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nvidia make a run over 220. That would represent all-time highs. The all-time high currently is 218.67. I have no reason to think that we don't shoot through there this week. And Autodesk. You went up above 114.46. No, you missed that level. I don't know. I mean, 114.46 obviously gets you back in that major gap fill. For me, if I'm going to buy it tomorrow, 107.44. I ignore it here unless it pulls in hard. Hey, Ricardo, ARDM. All right, I'll approach this thing technically, not fundamentally, because, you know, I haven't really read up on this company per se. I think you have to watch a very tight line here to remain bullish, which is 99% what I'm assuming you're thinking, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. You're going to need to hold about $5.75 tomorrow to remain bullish. If not, look out below. Synergy. What a big down move. All right, so you obviously see SGYP got destroyed on Friday. You got a downgrade on Oppenheimer Friday, citing the nagging capital overhang. Analysts also saying any additional equity offerings may require a meaningful discount to the current stock price. So basically, Oppenheimer analysts thinking that there could be, you know, more offerings, and that's why he downgraded it on Friday, and you got a little beaten up. It looks a little bearish to me right here. It looks like if you could buy it under $1.99, you probably have a decent risk reward. Just my thoughts on that one. I did, Ken. Basically, I don't. I mean, I looked at a few things. I saw some differences between them, and I wasn't able to really do a direct comparison. You see, it would be a lot easier if you came to me, Ken, and you were like, what's the difference between why do you like Ethereum over Bitcoin? And I can answer you. But once you start, if you came to me and you said, it would be a much easier answer for you if you came to me and you said, do you like any of these two cryptos? But when you start comparing the two, you're basically asking me, which one would you buy? And I can answer that on a number of different levels, but when you're just asking me straight up, Ripple coin or Lumens, I have chose and I did read on it, and it would be XLM at this point, based on the price, based on the move, based on where it came from, based on the market capitalization. So I think that would be the more eloquent answer that I could give you, but I can't give you the direct comparisons on outside of those statistics of which one would be better, in my opinion. Full bullish comments for Celgene. Yeah, Celgene a little beaten up recently. We'll see. Again, latency like once every 30 seconds. That's weird. I think it's on your end, Ken. It's my pleasure, Ricardo, and welcome. Thoughts on possible reversals in these. Costco. When just can you repeat that question? Just be a little more specific, because if you say Costco reversal now, I don't know if you're talking within the last 2 days, meaning it should go higher, or you're talking recently the stock's at all-time highs and maybe it should crash lower. So just be a little more specific on that, on those questions there. Was it Barbara? No, it's Priyanka. Just be a little more specific, and I'll be glad to answer them. Okay, Barbara. SGH, nice little bullish engulfing bar. Um, Looks bullish to me overall. I like how you're climbing in this ascending channel. I wouldn't buy it until support hits. And that support tomorrow would be 33.31. Tesla, bearish. Mark, where do you buy a ton of Tesla tomorrow? A test and break of $295.56. Overstock, bullish. I spoke to somebody about the overstock offering. I think I'll wait till tomorrow to speak about it with their T0 ICO. It's at all time. Is it at all time highs? Yeah, it is. It's extremely bullish. GCAP, bullish. Just as I said, $9 was a good level on Thursday to own it. Stock at $10. You're still within this wedge. I'm still bullish on GCAP. Still think it gets to $11. Facebook, all-time highs, close near the all-time highs. Very bullish. The question I have when these stocks break all-time highs is, how far above this ascending resistance do you go? Do you get to 190 before you dip back into 186? Generally, that is the case. Do I see signs of a small man? I do not see signs that the smaller investors are entering the market here. I think people are more into the crypto craze right now, for example, than buying Facebook right here. Thoughts on SFM? Same thoughts I always have. Bullish. Remember when I showed you this rising wedge, I said it would pull in a little. Look, it did. Still bullish. Nothing changed. SPX. Okay, you broke ascending resistance at all-time highs. Sky's the limit. I don't have any thoughts on it from here on out. It's funny when the stock goes through all-time highs. It's really hard to analyze how much higher it goes because it's really in no man's land. Oh, look at that huge. See, it looked really bullish to me on AK here when you were breaking out when you closed here on December 11th, and it went from $2 to 230, and it looked great. And then whatever the heck happened there on December 18th, I mean, again, that's what happens when news overrides with technicals. So basically, they entered a framework agreement right here on this big down day with First Quantum Minerals. And for God knows whatever reason on the planet, it's being interpreted as negative. I think it's fundamentally positive. Who am I to argue with Wall Street on a name I don't trade often? Support is at $1.65 NAK. I'm not going to comment right now on fundamental thoughts on AmTrust. I agree with you, though, that technically it looks bullish. I don't have any fundamental opinion on this one. AMC, so reversal, you mean going back up, I assume, on AMC. Should bounce tomorrow. You're holding above falling wedge support. It's a nice swing entry Friday for AMC. I like what you're watching. Very bullish. You can see the falling wedge or at the support line. It's so funny. People, you always have some people who'll always say, when they see, like there was one person who was asking me when AMC was at 1640 this day. Remember when we called AMC here over all the way down here on November 14th when we gave you guys AMC and it rallied pretty much 40%? I had the person asking me, Mark, what do you think of AMC here at 1640? Remember that day? And I said, well, it's still very bullish, but I wouldn't buy it until it pulls back. So I think that's what's happening here in AMC. On Wednesday, the stock was 1550. On Friday, it was 1410. Dropped $1.50 in a few days. That's a buying opportunity. You know what else it looks like these 3 days on AMC? This is a really good name to watch. You know what else this looks like? It looks like December 22nd, 26th, and 27th right over here. Look at that. 3 days down, 3 days up, 3 days down, hitting support again. I don't know about 3 days up, but one day up is a very, very high probability situation for tomorrow. What would be a good level to short Roku? I don't know. You had the negative news on it. 52.91, which is very high. How high do I think Owen could go? No idea. Still very bullish as I pretty much said every day for the past month. I still hold that. Nothing has changed. I mean, I'll always watch this thing technically for you. And if anything changes, I'll let you know. Nothing changes. With a flag setup like this, maybe you get a run to 24, but that doesn't mean it doesn't go higher. I wouldn't call that a concern on Sprouts Farmers Market. I think most of the analysts out there are idiots and their track record proves it. All right, you downgraded Sprouts Farmers Market. Okay, you mean like the same idiots who were bashing it when it was 18? Those are the same analysts. I mean, you only get a certain amount of analysts from each firm who covers a name. And it's okay to be wrong. But I humbly disagree. Yeah, I'll track for Solar and Lulu. Problem is they're high right now. They're going to have to pull back first. But yeah, sure, Priyanka. Well, as long as the market keeps going up, I don't see any reason why. I think $30 target was a very bold call, Reinhold. It's beautiful to see that you actually nailed it last week. It looks phenomenal here. I mean, I guess it's just sort of the all-time high phenomenon in the market. You have to realize the majority, I mean, I've been trading for the past 18 years religiously, and I will tell you this right now that most people don't, I mean, most days you're not making all-time highs, obviously. So like when you see this phenomena here, When I see a stock, for example, like if you ask me, Mark, what are your thoughts on Bank of America? Well, I would say, yeah, it looks bullish, but that doesn't exactly help you. Now, if I came out and told you it looks bullish, but I need a pullback to this support level, it's much deeper down. It probably doesn't get there tomorrow, but it's 2907, and that's where I'd want to buy it. That brings value. Because now you're looking where to buy. Would I buy Bank of America tomorrow? No. Unless it had like some huge news and upgrade, that'd be a different story. But just randomly, no. Would I hold it if I was holding it? Maybe, yeah. I would probably hold it, but I wouldn't enter a new position here. It's still phenomenally bullish. Maybe your mom is right on that one. All right, Costco long side predictions for me to want to do that. 182.29 tomorrow to buy it. Disney long predictions tomorrow. The stock would have to fall to 109.90 for me to buy it. Urban Outfitters, pass. Pass. I don't want to buy this one at all. So no. JC Penney. Actually like the volume recently here in JC Penney. Hard to nail a good buy point. As long as you're above 354 tomorrow, you're looking okay. I'm a little concerned about the volume bar there on Thursday on JC Penney. NetEase, I'm bullish on this thing right now. Where I would buy it tomorrow, 332.02. Save, that's Spirit Airlines. No interest in buying it unless it plummets to like 37.75. I have alerts on it. Probably not. Once, nope. No interest in buying a setup like this whatsoever. Because here's the thing. Even though I do see support tomorrow at 35.67, if the stock is going to fall down there to 35.67, it would probably be on some horrible news in which wouldn't want to make me buy it anyway. So pass on ONCE. I gave you my thoughts on AMC as well. What do I think of MTEM? Bullish. Beautiful breakout. I would like to see the stock get to $16.28 swing-wise, Barbara. I have no opinion on the fundamental sides. I didn't do enough analysis. Suncor, I think Suncor looks very bullish. You're putting in a little bit of an inverted hammer there. I would want to buy it at 35.08 tomorrow. And again, some of these levels, I get it, are not likely to come in tomorrow. But that's really the best way I could put it. 35.98 on CMQ would be a nice support. That's more possible. Alright, so you guys know I'm holding some GLD calls. Looks bullish. I'm not adding anymore. I hope it goes higher. GDX. Looks very bullish as well. Makes you wonder, are people selling gold to buy cryptocurrency? Which to me just sounds wrong on so many levels. I can't even begin to wrap my head around that. Roku, I just went over. Looks bearish. So let me give a level in which I'd want to buy Roku tomorrow. 44.43 is actually where I'd want to buy it, John. Ricardo. Kemet. Bullish. Beautiful descending resistance breakout, but look how you banked into the 50 and 200 moving average and then failed. Support tomorrow for a potential long entry, $16.28. I still like it. I'd like a pullback to buy it. Lower. Do I think Macy's? Do I think it can? Yeah, I think it. You mean like 1742? I mean, you obviously know it's one of the stocks I picked as my 2018 selection for dividends, so I don't think it goes there. It's definitely possible. I agree, Priyanka. All right, HIFU. How to join my Twitter feed? All right, I'll let you know when the Twitter feed is up. I know I'm getting a lot on it. I'll definitely let you know when it's up. In terms of Adobe, I'm very bullish in Adobe here. I think you're going to break 186.27 and make all-time highs. and Adobe. I think it happens this week. AbbVie, we've been talking about this one for a while with a $100 target. It finally got to $100 last week. Sky's the limit at this point. I continue to be bullish on it. In terms of a pullback, which I think is the best set of information, if you're long, it's easy to hold. If you're not and you're looking for a fresh position in this one, I'd like a pullback to 98.34 on AbbVie. All right, so here's an interesting question. Ethereum, and I'll get back to, I know I have like 7 emails right now from you YouTubers asking me about how to sign up for the alert system, because the alert system is really going to revolutionize the way people who don't have a full time to look at the market. It's going to help you guys capitalize in probably the easiest way I would know possible. So someone's asking a good question. Ethereum is blowing up as we speak. How will crypto trading affect future dollar inflow into stocks? I think it's going to help stocks that are dealing with cryptos. So, for example, like Riot, RIOT, is a company that wasn't worth anything back, $3, $4 stock. They get involved with mining Bitcoin and it's a $46 stock. And there's names like GCAP and there's names like Overstock, which got a ton of money in flow. So I guess if you generalize and you just say stocks, I don't know what it's going to do for example, McDonald's. Maybe it could have an effect on McDonald's with a fast food, crap coin, they could call it, because that's how you're going to feel like after you eat McDonald's. Maybe it'll get you some good deals. But how do I think it's going to how it's going to flow interest into the stock market? It already is, and it'll continue to do it. And because most people out there are willing to buy an overstock as opposed to a Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. That's the majority of human beings. Just look at your accounts. Do your trading accounts allow you to buy cryptocurrencies? Some will in the future. I'm not saying they all won't eventually. But it's going to definitely add more dollars into the industry, because you're going to have people, for example, who want to own cryptocurrencies, who are literally opening up retail accounts in the stock market to buy crypto stock related names. So I think it's going to help it, would be my answer. So, nonetheless, answer one more. Thinking of adding Valero was one of my favorite stocks for 2017 that I gave you guys, and at the last day of December. Do I still like it? Sure. Do I think it's worth it here? No. I would look at some of my other dividend names now. You have to understand that when I was talking about it, it was like a $70 name. I think it could still go higher, but to open up a fresh position at all-time highs to swing, there's something that goes against my instincts when I do that. I do think it heads higher. I think there are better names to own. I hope you guys enjoyed the NewsBeat nightly trading broadcast. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the NewsBeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening, and let's welcome in the new open house guests. Oh, and for you guys on YouTube, also, last comment. We have a free open house for my room this week. Take advantage of it. It costs nothing. Monday through Friday, free access to my room. Have a wonderful evening.